After all, making games is just another business. What do I mean by this? When you make games, you have to think as a businessman, not as an artist or not as just a hobby. If you put in your mind that this is just a hobby and you're just trying to make side money, this could work. But you have to think that you have to go all in. Now, there's something great about making games is that it's very rewarding and it's fun. Honestly, it's fun to play games, but it's also fun to create games. You have this feeling of having some kind of a baby that's born, a product that's born out of you. So that's definitely a great feeling. All right, so definitely Unity is the way to go. It's a free tool to use, and when you start making good money, you can pay for the license. But Unity allows you to use the same tools as AAA studios, as the best studios out there. You don't even have to pay $1 to be able to use the same tools. Now, this was never heard of in the past. In the past, if you had to use something like Unreal Engine, you had to pay thousands of dollars to be able to use that. And even some tools for the Xbox or other platforms that even, the common of the mortals like you and I, we were not even allowed to use these tools. We couldn't even buy a license. We didn't even have the right to buy the license. So we come in a time that making games has been democratized. Anyone can now make games. All right. Now, what I want to tell you is that you can make games for different platforms. And this is very important because this will change the way you make games. You can make games for consoles. You can make games for mobile devices, such as iPhones and Androids, and you can make games for online internet, which would be for desktop, for example, or just any types of these platforms. Now you can also make games for the Internet of Things, or for anything that you could wear, anything that's wearable. But we're not really there yet. This is virtual reality, and it's coming in 2016 and 2017. I cannot really predict the future, but definitely this is going to become big because all the big guys are here. Facebook has invested millions of dollars in it, Google too, Sony too, Samsung too. So it's just a matter of time for it to become huge. All right. Having said that, again, there's different platforms that you can build games for. Now, if you want to build games for console, there are two different ways of building games for consoles. By the way, the consoles, you already know what it is, but I'm just going to throw it out there. You have the Xboxes, the PlayStations, and any other consoles that you may think about. But usually it's PlayStations and Xboxes. All right, so there are two different types of games you can make. You can make small indie studio games, and these will appear in a specific spot in the app stores. So if you go to the Xbox App Store, you have the independent section. So your games can only be there. Now, if you reach a certain level and your games are really good and you have good quality, then Microsoft or even Sony will allow your game to be part of the big guys game. What do I mean by the big guys? All those big AAA titles, which means that your games are going to show up on the main screen that's just right there, the home screen, when people boot up their console. And there's going to be millions of people looking at your apps here, meaning that the revenues are, the sky is the limit here. All right, so that's for the console. Now, you have the mobile application and mobile games, which would be the Androids, so any Google Play, or there's actually dozens of Android stores. In the United States, we mostly have only Google Play and the Amazon store for creating apps and games. But in China, they have 7 or 8 other stores, and all over the world, they have multiple different stores. So know that you can create your game with Unity and put your game into all these stores. And the more stores, the more people you can reach with your games. All right, so this is for the Android side, but you also have obviously the iTunes App Store. So any iPhones, iPad, tablets, and all of these, you can create games for these. And by the way, the code that you will create with Unity will be the same one, whether it's for Android or for iPhones or even PlayStation and Xbox and so on. So this is never heard of before. Trust me, I've used other tools before. When I create games for Android or when I want to create games for iPhones, it's always been a pain to be able to target so many platforms. It's been very expensive because you need to have different sets of tools to be able to create a game that would work on all these platforms. However, now you don't have to. Unity takes care of that. So again, it's a great time saver and a game money saver. It's actually free. So how how better could that be? Now, not everything is free because having the game, having the platform to make games is not all you need. You obviously need graphical assets. Now, again, you can create your own or buy some, and I will explain you how you can do one or the other.